Hello, hello, welcome back. It is time for the reveal. Now that winter is here to stay, in Alberta anyway, we got a big snowstorm on the weekend and I'm pretty sure it's going to stick around. So, everybody, hopefully you're staying safe out there. Let's see what we picked, what cards you chose. At the end of this reading, I'll kind of go through what it all means together. Card 1, 2, 3, then 4 as a collective for everybody. But first, let's talk about specifically what the card means if it's the one that you chose. Of course, it's not a bad idea to come back at the end of the couple weeks ahead to see how this played out. Or now to go back and rewatch that last video to see how that played out in your timeline. So let's see what you picked if you chose card number 1. You chose Never Ending Story. This card talks about the thoughts, the patterns, the emotions, whatever it is that's happening in your life right now that keeps repeating itself. What is it that you're hanging on to that's not doing you any good? What is it that you're focusing on that's keeping you stuck? This is more or less a mental thing that's happening. So you have power over this. And remember that you have power over this situation that's making you feel stuck or unable to move forward. So all you've got to do is say, listen, I'm done with this. I'm leaving this behind. Recognize what it is that you can leave behind and what it is that's going to help you be lighter to move forward. So really recognizing that you are in control of your life. What changes can you make to move forward in a different direction instead of being stuck? So if you make the same decisions or do the same things that you've always done, you're going to get the same results that you've always gotten. So it's time to think outside the box and recognize how it is that you can move forward to move on to something bigger and better. It's not always about, maybe you're feeling like somebody was dishonest or somebody was did wrong to you, let's say. It's time to just let that go, cut your ties, and move forward in a more positive way, leaving those things that you don't need behind you. Now, if you chose card number 2, you chose Building Blocks. Now, this card suggests that there's something new that's happening. Maybe you're working on some new ideas, or there is something new that's coming up right now for you. There is opportunity for growth. You want to make sure that you're building solid foundations. So no matter how long it takes, you want to make sure that everything that you're laying in your foundation is solid. So not counting on others, not taking shortcuts. You want to make sure that you're doing everything properly, one step at a time, and really focusing on the foundation rather than the outcome at this point. Make sure that everything underneath your feet is solid. That's going to bring you to, I want to say, a peaceful outcome. And you're really going to have peace knowing that you're secure, your foundations are solid. There's nothing that's going to be able to mess with it. Ask for guidance from Spirit to help you to know if you're making the right choices. Spirit, send me signs and symbols. Connecting with your higher self, that sort of thing. Making sure that it feels right in your gut, everything that you're doing, so that you can just really take your time and move forward. Okay, make sure that it feels good. Make sure that your foundations are not counting on anyone else, really. I like to make sure that if you're building foundations, I would like to make sure that everything is solid and not counting on anyone that could change their mind. Okay, so if you chose card number 3, you chose Higher Power. So this card talks about right now the importance of you going in and connecting with your higher self. So going into meditation, whether you are doing a guided meditation or just a walk in nature or just a moment of silence, or maybe you're journaling or artistically getting your feelings out, making sure that you're making that connection with your higher self. There may be a decision at play right now where you're deciding, do I go one way or the other? Do I leave this behind and move forward? Or, you know what, it is time to make a change. Leave behind what is not, I want to say, what is not bright and shiny. Sometimes things are not always what they look. So going in, connecting with your higher self and recognizing the things that are not meant to be for you. There is a feeling of transition right now. So as you're able to leave some things behind, that's going to help you transition into something new and into a new space, a new frame of mind, new opportunities. It's almost like you're leveling up and leaving behind what's not all, what do they say? People aren't always what they say. People aren't always what they portray. So leaving those things behind, those things or those people behind or those situations, and moving forward into new territory and just really stepping that up, okay? If you chose card number 4, you chose Observe. Now this card talks about, do you see how this little guy is looking through a microscope at the moon? So this guy is focused only on this. So he sees nothing that's happening all around him. So this card is talking about the importance for you now to zoom out, or to take a break from something, or to see something from a different perspective, or to stand back and see the big picture instead of looking at all of the same details. So take a step back, see the bigger picture, because if you don't, you're going to miss something because you're just focusing on the same thing. So step back, look at the big picture. You may have to get out of your comfort zone a little bit, but really having clear goals in mind and being in the moment is really going to help. So not focusing on the exact same details that you've always been focusing on. Step back, allow yourself to see the big picture, and allow whatever to come to you. So, you may be receiving whatever it is that you're looking for or hoping for. You may be receiving it in a different way than you are wanting to accept. So accept things in the form that they come. There may be a blessing that's coming your way that you don't want to miss because you're expecting it in a different form. So really being open to whatever it is that comes your way. So if we look at all of these cards for the collective, in the flow of a story, so as a collective, we want to make sure that we're not getting hung up on the same details in the same story over and over and over. That we maybe need to be empowered by change and figure out how it is that we can change our situation instead of feeling like we're trapped in the same running wheel. To make those changes, we want to make sure that we are building solid foundations. So not rushing from one situation to the next, but focusing on quality over quantity, okay? Connect with your higher self. Check in. Make sure what you're doing is feeling good to you and is not just something because, just because I thought it should be this way. Make sure it feels good. And take time to not only look at all the details. You want to make sure that you can see all the details before you make a decision. But you also want to step back and see the bigger picture. Make sure that you can see everything as well as focusing in on all the details. And that should make sure that you don't miss anything and prevent anything from going sideways. So hopefully this makes sense. Why did you choose the card you chose? Does the card that you chose fit better than the rest of them? Keep an eye on it. Come back and check at the end of the week to see how this all matches up with the energies that you encountered. And we'll meet again in another couple weeks. Take care and bye for now, guys.